welcome to the IDEA Committee meeting of September 20th, 2023. I am calling the meeting to order at 6:03 p.m. Shall we consider any request of a city council member to attend the meeting remotely under the emergency circumstances of AB 2449? It looks like there are no requests.
Let me do the roll call then. Chair Horton.
Here.
Vice Chair Kolhatkar.
Here.
I do remember a committee member, Dennis, saying she won't be able to make it this evening because it is she's traveling.
Oh, that's for work.
Committee member Badelli.
Here.
Committee member Nida on Zoom. Committee member Seto.
Yeah. Can I get a first and a second to approve the agenda as it stands?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Thank you. Okay, can you do a roll call vote, please?
Chair Horton.
Yeah, aye.
Vice Chair Kolhatkar.
Aye.
Committee member Badelli.
Aye.
Committee member Nida.
Aye.
Committee member Seto.
Aye.
All right, is there a member of the public wishing to make public comment on an item not on the agenda?
There are none.
Okay, so let's get into old business. First up is our IDEA work plan, so we can review a draft work plan and community goals and results. Can we start with the staff report, please?
So staff is recommending to review the city council's adopted community goals and results and draft the IDEA committee's work plan based on these community goals and results. So the background is that the city council's community goals and results were developed to create a framework to help the city develop programs and develop program indicators. The IDEA committee in February reviewed the goals and results and modified them accordingly. So as you see here in the bullet points, there's a few edits to the goal results are safe community building, ecological sustainability, fiscally prudent, and economic development. So the work plan will function basically as a roadmap for the year for the committee's projects and initiatives. I've attached sample work from the City of Brisbane's commissions and committees, so you can see like the different styles. There's some people use spreadsheets, some of the committees use, some of the groups use like just narratives and reports. I also included the town of Los Gatos' Justice, Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion work plan. I thought that was a really good template to kind of showcase what a work plan would look like based on, DEI initiatives. If it's the committee's pleasure to develop an outline of the work plan based on the council's community goal results, then staff can create a spreadsheet to use as a tool to track our progress on their work plan. And also the work plan itself, I forgot to add to the report, has to be approved by the city council at a future meeting. And that's it. And the last attachment is also the draft of the IDEA committee work plan. We've outlined some of the measurable activities or initiatives and projects under these goal results, right? So this is for safe community. We have the United Against Hate event during the second week of November. We also partner with the Brisbane Police Department, and this is one of the initiatives that we worked with during the what is it?
The vigil.
The vigil.
2021.
Is it I'm forgetting the name of the vigil.
It's like Stand with Asians.
Stand with Asians. So they have an anonymous tip line and web form that we also want to promote. Community building is kind of one of the core functions of IDEA itself. We're going to hold or co-sponsor 3 Brisbane events, table at Day in the Park, coordinate Brisbane 101. And we do this like every other year, basically, because that's when we recruit for various city committees and commissions. participate in age-friendly cities task force, which Miyoko's doing, and then use our notable dates and celebrations calendar to celebrate holidays, heritage months, and history months. We also have ecological sustainability, and under that we have, I believe it was Mangesh who was also a representative on the Sierra Point Park and Open Space Master Plan Subcommittee, and there should be future discussions.
Yes,
So we want to keep that in the
Sure.
work plan,
yeah, it's a 2-year plan at least, right? So-
right? And then fiscally prudent and economic development are two areas which we still need initiatives or
Yeah.
or not, whatever the committee's pleasure is.
Just minor nit, given the kind of the fact that those are all nouns, we make it fiscal prudence, fiscally prudent. So otherwise, that's the only verb taken. I'm the grammar police here too.
Yeah, we need to amend these goal results.
I just hate that they call it goals / results.
Yeah.
It's a confusing term and it's something that we
I mean, these are, yeah,
we garnered from the
Priority-based budgeting process is what led to the creation of council having adopted goals and results to steer that process. So yeah, that's where that terminology came from.
One question, and I know Mangesh, you're usually really good about bringing this up, but the accountability and idea, I'm wondering like where that. How do we know if these initiatives are successful? Are there any sort of like
Metrics.
metrics?
Mhm.
Yeah. Are we just doing this in a vacuum and we're like, we don't care if people like it, we're just the goal is to hold it and it doesn't really matter how successful it is, or is there an opportunity to like build in some sort of evaluation component? Or is that like a separate?
Mhm.
But to add to that, we might take you up on our offer to have a spreadsheet, because that'll help us
Mhm.
track what we are doing, right? Because I saw the Parks and Rec, spreadsheet, for example, like that. So that tracks all the activities, and then we can also assign, not only track it, but as a committee, we can say, okay, this is so, the percentage completion, how much of it is complete, and then also what is the outcome and how satisfied we are with the outcome, or, combination of those things. Have one qualitative metric so that we keep track, not only keep track of progress, but we also keep track of the quality of outcomes. So that I think my thought is that it should meet the accountability, dimension.
I see Park and Rec does have a needs assessment survey. Is there something similar that you'd want to do annually? Or like what other
Like how do we
qualitative?
measure it?
Yeah, so along each of those, the goals, we have one section for, each of those goals, and then we have specific rows based similar along the same lines what we have here, and we say, okay, this is, we make hold one United against 80, but let's just take that as an example. Being second wave number, 100% complete, but we already did that, right? Is there anything pending? No, the outcome, we all think the participation of Brisbane was appreciated, and I think, we are all satisfied with the outcome. So we, assign it, let's say from 1 to 5, so we say 5, that kind of, so that keeps track of that dimension. The next one, partner with Brisbane Police Department. I think that's either we can say 100% done or ongoing. And I think the mechanism we have in place for that is also satisfactory. So we, again, they do assign an outcome score of 4 or 5, and so on. But what do other members think?
I like that. I think the one thing that I wonder if we can add is like number of participants for the events. Knowing like how many people come to the table at Day in the Park, how many people come to the like AIP events. It seemed very like there was a great turnout, and then being able to like year over year measure too.
If I could add one more suggestion as a column to that same spreadsheet, maybe just have special remarks. Like for instance, in the United Against Hate, the coordinator of United Against Hate, she mentioned that she was particularly pleased that even though Brisbane is such a small town, it had such, active participation in that. And, she was driving past and she saw the flag and all that. So I think we just annotate that there, so it's there for the record, that. What do you think, Diane?
Yeah, I think that's a really great approach. And then, last time when I was at the was that in the park, a few people stopped by and then said, "Oh, I did not know this committee exists." So whether we kind of host event and more participation, and then the citizen of the Brisbane will get to know us more.
Right.
And then they will know more opportunity about this kind of place that they can speak out.
Yeah.
And they kind of said they really appreciate the city of Brisbane approach this
Right.
way.
A good point. And moreover, I think it also creates a platform for the council to, at a glance, get an idea of what initiatives the IDEA committee is, involved in, and what we feel, kind of a self-rating in terms of what we feel the outcome is. So if there are any areas that might need some additional focus, they can appropriately, convey that through the staff to us. So that would be one mechanism to address the accountability, which we have not so far. It's there, it's one dimension of our idea, the A in idea, but so far we don't have any active mechanism in place, and this might address.
I know the Park and Rec Committee works with the communication team for surveys. What surveys do they do annually?
Just the needs assessment survey.
Oh.
I don't know if that's an annual survey though.
Oh, I
They
see.
just did it, it might be every years.
Just for the needs, but not for, do they also evaluate Parks and Rec Parks and Rec initiatives and projects? I guess for example, for the after school program, I know we get surveyed as the parents about how we feel after every academic year, things like that. So maybe should we survey all the if we hold events and stuff and have evaluations of those? Maybe Brisbane 101 for sure. That could be a
that
good
seems,
one.
if the events seem like they would be more difficult to then be like, also, would you mind filling out a survey?
Yeah.
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 But I do think maybe, I wonder if there's and maybe this would be more anecdotal, but wondering first time you've come to a We Are Brisbane event, how many of you attended? Because I suspect that the goal would be to really have people that are attending, not only when it's their identity, right? But that they're attending something that's to build in community with others and learn about a different background.
That's right.
But again, I don't know how you're unless you're approaching every person.
Like a sign-in sheet. Do we usually have sign-in sheets in the library events?
do raffles.
Raffles.
Your name and number.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. This is just a quick follow-up call to see how you enjoy the event.
I mean, what's exciting to me is to see a community member that's never been to a city event before, but how do we track that? But that would be the most exciting and most telling thing to me. People are feeling more included and feels more inclusive, the events.
That's part of what we're gonna try and capture at Day in the Park. This is what idea worked on this past year. List them out and maybe ask, did you attend any? And what you thought, and what do you want to see next year? So that we're Day in the Park, so we'll have a repository of data can start there.
Okay.
I don't know if we did this last year, I don't think so, but I wonder too, now that this is our second year and we sort of have ideas of like what other things we'll be hosting, if we could include some sort of like sign up sheet, like, are you interested in learning about We Are Brisbane events, or, you know, and then, Caroline, I don't know if that's a minute the city can manage to like send out blasts specifically to people that are opting in.
Do other committees do that? Like?
We actually did do a survey. This is prior to Ideas birthing, but it was like, we've done different holiday celebrations in Brisbane. Are you interested in helping to plan any of them? So that we have, make sure that it's properly celebrated and everything. And we do have some respondents that did chime in and say, yes, here's my email. So I think it's a good idea to start getting that list together. Yeah, we can start asking. Maybe at Day in the Park as one of the things.
The only other thing that I wonder about this is like, are there are still opportunities like as things come up and thinking about like the flag policy, that like we didn't obviously plan for that, but it actually ended up being quite a big work stream. And so does that need to be represented, or is there just sort of assumption that like, and other matters as presented to the committee?
Is that
Just to capture
part of, is that part of,
I mean, my question is like, can
we put that in number 5 somehow? Is it based on notable dates and celebrations, or? It's more like addressing community concerns. Or not just community concerns, but I guess it did come out of a community concern, right? The flag policy,
maybe, And so maybe something in community building with like where appropriate, responding to requests from community members.
Is there a metric tied to that?
Where you request to do something, did you do it?
Yeah.
Responding to only one, no, I was kidding.
100%.
Yeah,
I mean, and we have to have a goal for that, or is it just like?
It strikes me as sort of like a job description when like other duties as.
Assigned.
Yeah.
Mhm.
A catch-all for like anything else that comes up.
Okay.
Okay, should we come back to the group with our
Yeah.
semi-final? Yeah,
So nothing under fiscal prudence.
No, I think fiscal prudence is, it is definitely important, but I was thinking about what you just said, that was a very important point, the flag policy, I mean, that was, fair amount of work went in, and it's here to stay. It is gonna have, it definitely has a positive impact on the city now and in the future. So I think, but where do we fit that in? Maybe sustainability and progressive governance, we retitle that third, goal, or create a 6th goal. Fair governance or progressive governance.
Part of community building really is about engagement and transparency for community building. So for example, like my work as a city clerk is based on community building because it's about providing engagement and transparency within the organization.
Could go in there then.
Well, yeah, I wonder if there's something in the goal itself around, not to go back, because I know we like wordsmith this to death. But I'm saying about like
I didn't manage to give my input, see.
Yeah. But like
Yeah,
even something
I
that's
hear
like
it.
strive to create inclusive and equitable experiences, interactions and policies. Through community, like, I mean, there's something that sort of captures,
Mhm.
but, or we can just sort of.
Equitable experiences.
Yeah, I don't
Interactions
wanna
and
open that
policies. Is that what you,
Okay, so yeah, this is, oh, this is the
yeah,
modified
that's the modified.
definition.
So add and policies? And then what else did you say,
I
Mike?
was saying, I was talking about governance, because idea is, I know this is kind of after the fact, the goals are already laid out and almost cast in stone now, but, couple of things is, one is governance, progressive governance, and the other thing is these goals. Also, we don't have anything that has an eye on the future.
Hmm.
So it's all about current initiatives, but what, idea is also trying to influence the future of the city, has an eye on the future as well. So is that something that we should include in here? On the one hand, it creates another goal, number 6. Or if we can find a way to somehow dovetail it within the existing goals, that's.
I think there's the educational and youth development opportunities was added to try and get to that, what you're mentioning, Mangesh, but it's not quite that. At the end of the community building definition. We added that.
We added that.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah, that is more towards education and youth development, right?
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think I was like thinking
Let
about.
me just say community building and progressive governance.
I think the word progressive is
Triggering.
Yeah.
triggering, but also like.
Another synonym
It's
that is less so than.
vague.
Good.
Good governance. Oh, yeah, they use that in a lot of the
Okay, fair
governance.
enough,
thing.
yeah. Call it that, yeah. Because the flag building policy would follow
How about this?
within
Through
that.
community engagement. There's so many commas. How about to create inclusive and equitable create inclusive and equitable experiences, interactions and policies through community engagement, good governance and participation.
Sounds good.
Right, policy recommendations.
And policy recommendations.
But I don't think it's a mandate to make a policy that we make
True.
recommendations.
Good governance. And then
Yeah, I think that's
we'll
perfect.
work with that.
Yeah. You nailed it.
Great.
And then, we just capture that, we did this flag policy and that it's, within that, just like you have it here.
100%.
Yeah, there you go, 100%. Yeah, we say that.
I'll get our bonus.
Are we working on the word
We
policy?
make a policy recommendation as well.
Yeah.
The recommendations.
We score all hundreds.
Yeah. You get a policy recommendation. Free Betsy.
We better see, yeah, there you
I know, we're supposed to make sure it's,
Spending.
we're not losing any money.
go. I like that
So
name.
far,
That was cute.
Yeah.
Betsy was
Betsy.
nice, very creative.
Oh my gosh, they have onesies there.
Something for everybody.
Okay, this is great.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
So the work plan.
Oh, great.
So to summarize, you're gonna start on is the staff gonna create a template spreadsheet so that.
Mhm.
Okay, excellent. Thank you.
I'll come back with the narrative and the worksheet.
Nice.
Spreadsheet.
All right, we can move right along to review our city events for our We Are Brisbane series. We have a staff report for Day in the Park, National Hispanic and Latinx Heritage Month, and Unite Against Hate and Youth Mural Project.
So we kind of touched on the
Mhm.
Day in the Park tabling. I think last meeting and maybe the meeting before, we talked about just wanting to use Day in the Park as a way to hear more from the committee members, what they would like to see for the coming year, but also be reminded about what IDEA has worked on event wise, maybe policy wise too, in the past year. So a Google form was talked about and as a way to capture on the spot feedback at Day in the Park. So we will work on that, and a wheel is there for people to maybe spin and like answer a question or two, and then be able to spin maybe based on how many questions that they do. And that was the thought.
For prizes.
Is that a prize one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Bring it over.
So you get a prize?
You can, it's a white array. The pool is letting us borrow their lovely spinny wheel. But we can write on it whatever we'd like, a dry erase marker. So you have thoughts on what you'd like to put on?
What the prizes are? Or what the question?
Is it the prize one? Like we write the prize or we write the question?
What do you guys think?
What are the prices gonna be?
We talked about like, 10% off maybe at Betsy.
Okay. Well, then it could be the questions and then everyone can get a 10%.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
maybe the questions on here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you wanna?
How many questions is it? How many slots?
Well, you can double up if we need to.
10%, is that?
It's 7.
It's something. It's not a lot.
Well, yeah, what can we afford?
Or 50, right?
10, 5.
5 is not okay.
We have to be fiscally prudent too. Exercise fiscal prudence in other words.
Fiscal prudence. I like that. I'm so happy with that fiscal
Yeah,
prudence.
sounds a lot better.
I know, what?
Okay, so 7 questions. Let's go for 15% off Betsy.
15%.
15% off Betsy.
Ooh. Stakes are higher. That's like.
Actually came up with some great questions
Yeah,
for
right.
the ball.
Oh, right.
You know,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
So-
yeah.
you're all ears.
Thank you. That's a good question.
Are these questions like about Brisbane or like what would you like to see that committee do?
I think we'll capture like the what do you want to see as one of them. There should be one of them
Mhm.
for the idea committee to work on.
Yeah, and then that can be like a cool data.
Mhm.
Um,
Like event wise, or just is it gonna be more open ended?
open-ended is probably better.
Okay, what do you want to see idea work on in the coming year? On all the slots, same question.
Yeah, there's probably, you can like cover them up and like be like, what's the question? They're all the same questions.
8 questions, right?
No, it's only 7, I think. This is throwing me off the list.
He's busy.
No, I think they're eight.
Oh, it's 8. It's 8.
Oh, no, there's 8.
There's 7 left.
Yeah, yeah.
So it should,
Maybe
Cover them.
there's
How many idea committee events have you been to?
Mhm.
Name 3 idea committee events for 20% off.
We can't go above
No.
15.
17%.
and we can recycle some of the questions from the
Yeah.
day in the ballpark event,
Yeah.
like when was idea committee formed,
Yeah.
Oh.
okay. About like, what's your favorite holiday? Or
we could do like, what does IDEA committee stand for?
Mhm.
Like the acronym.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Okay, and then
So
the
do they have
when.
to get it right to get the 15% off?
Um,
yeah, 10%.
Have to be close.
Well, won't it, yeah, it'll like say it somewhere too.
If you weren't correct, you have to stay and listen for the actual answer.
Which festivals does the Festival of Lights commemorate? So you
Ooh, I like that.
have Kwanzaa, Diwali, Christmas, and Rosh Hashanah. No, was it Hanukkah? Sorry,
Hanukkah.
Yeah, Hanukkah. So,
Which
So,
festivals?
yeah, there's the
Mhm.
main
The festival.
Festival of Lights commemorate.
Commemorate. Mhm.
So if you get all 5, you get 20% off. If you get half, you get 15, and if you get 1 or 2, you get 10.
10%.
Yeah.
I have 5 questions, is that right?
Yeah. What's the idea committee's website?
What about what's the next IDEA committee's like event? So then like they would have to know, and then we can tell them like, oh, it's this. So
Mm.
like increase viewership and knowledge.
Name one idea committee member.
Oh.
Yeah.
What's the hashtag? Is it considered to be the idea committee's hashtag or like what? Hashtag is used at idea events. We're not saying the answers, right? Because this is for Day in the Park, but we all know, right?
Maybe.
It'll be there somewhere.
Yeah.
right? If people just look around.
Yeah, I think we'll bring back the frame
Yeah.
and make the hashtag more permanent looking.
Is that 8 questions or no?
We need one more.
One more? Okay, has to be
So
good.
Miyoko, we're looking to you now.
Still thinking about it.
Something to do with age friendly, because that's a very good initiative, right?
Yeah.
So, a question along those lines, so
Name,
that it gives that visibility and, even if we're not able to answer it, at least, we have the question there that,
yeah.
educates people that we are doing something in that domain.
Name 4 dimensions of diversity.
That seems intense. But I think, yeah, you're right. We should do a question that's like on the age friendly,
Right.
like what age friendly initiatives?
Well, there's a whole survey here with all these questions.
Yeah, just pick
Oh.
number 2 and then that should be good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, maybe when we go through it, we'll find something.
It's through AARP, right, Miyoko? Like the organization that designated
Yeah.
Brisbane to be age friendly, just an age friendly community.
Have we been awarded that designation yet, or is still based on
I
the
think.
survey?
Yeah, we've been
We have-
certified.
Yes, so,
Yeah.
oh, so there you go, that's a great question, so,
Have we been certified?
Yeah.
Or why?
to you, Miyoko, how would you frame it?
Could you say that last part?
How would you frame the question? I mean, the idea here is to give visibility to the fact that, thanks to the work that you did and everybody in the city council did, that AARP has designated Brisbane as an age-friendly city, right?
Yeah,
So-
maybe,
Yeah, this is like Jeopardy. We put it as a question, so that nobody might know the answer, but at least it gives the visibility, right?
Mhm.
maybe like ask, what
Right.
is the age-friendly initiative? And maybe most people haven't heard of it.
Well, yeah, or maybe like what group just designated Brisbane an age friendly.
What nationwide Organization.
Organization that you may have started receiving mail.
Mail
from.
form.
Or which year did Brisbane get certified as a ARP
Yeah,
age-friendly city?
I like
You
that.
know, so say September 2023.
I think it was actually over the summer, right, Miyako?
Yeah, I think it was July or August.
Oh, July or August,
People
okay.
are gonna go, I didn't know that they would be very even an age. Mission accomplished.
And which year did, okay.
Yeah.
It just happened.
Sounds fair, Miyoko, for that question?
Yeah, because I think probably most people will want to learn about it, you know,
Right, absolutely,
not even aware of it.
exactly, yeah.
That's a great way to get people to take the survey.
Mhm.
I won't get into it right now, but yeah, that'll be it's a great way to get people more aware of there's going to be a survey
Right,
coming out.
Oh, so the timing will be after Day in the Park, that the survey will be out?
Yeah, I
After-
believe we're going to have one more, we could have one more meeting before.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah, that's great timing.
okay.
Wait,
We
there's our
have
8.
7, one more?
No, we have our 8.
We have 8, okay, I'm good. Good.
Okay, thank you.
Maybe you could just number those slots and then have just like a bigger poster of the questions.
Oh,
Just
Probably because it's not gonna fit.
It's gonna be so tiny. It's not gonna be age friendly. Like me, like.
Good idea.
And is it possible to give all the participants like a sticker or something that, you know?
Oh, yes, we still have our
Wall,
giant stickers from the
yeah,
game.
right.
Right,
Mhm.
so now it'll be like, if you want a sticker, you need to spin the wheel. And then once you answer, you also can.
Yeah,
A sticker and a coupon.
yes. Great. Got an order for Betsy. Just kidding. It was you? Oh, you're multitasking. Oh, let's talk about Betsy, okay.
I had my shopping.
I see. Yes. All right, so the second item, National Hispanic and Latinx Heritage Month. So as you probably saw, the library is having a couple events. So the first one is tomorrow, where they're having a mariachi group come. I think it's at, what is the time on that? Ingrid, do you have it on?
I don't, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it went out into the blast earlier today. I think it's in the afternoon at 3:30, but let me just double check that.
Yeah, is it 3:30 to 4:30?
Yes, 3:30 to 4:30. And then on October 1st, so next month, Ballet Folklorico Mexico Vivo is coming to the library at 11 a.m. That's a Sunday. Also at the city council meeting tomorrow, there's going to be a proclamation for Hispanic Heritage and Latinx month. So that's all to report on that item.
I forgot to include our the autumn festival.
Oh, yeah, right. But this kind of came up in the last week or so, where on this Friday at the library is an event that the library had planned for the Mid-Autumn Festival, which is happening on the 29th, but they've started doing events to celebrate. They will start their first one tomorrow, but anyways, and the Brisbane Library on Friday, there's going to be a Tai Chi demonstration that they're giving away mooncakes for. The mooncakes are supposed to symbolize like fullness and unity. And like, so because the moon is gonna be really large at this time. We reached out to the borough next door to the library to see if they wanted to, you know, mooncake is very dense and heavy. So,
You're not supposed to eat the whole moon cake, I read. Right?
Oh.
Because of the calories.
Oh,
And the density.
maybe you don't want to stick the whole thing in your mouth that much for safety reasons too. But the borough is has donated 20 like jasmine green tea gift boxes that will be available for finding out, and that's going to be compliments of the city's idea committee.
Oh, nice.
So they can get a mooncake and a gift box of tea to take with them and enjoy at home. So that's on Friday at, I believe, 3:30 to 4:30. So, yes.
Okay.
If any idea committee members are available this Friday, please come by.
Friday at what time? Again?
3:30.
Okay.
Mhm.
And so who's donating the mooncakes?
I don't think they've been donated, but the library
Libraries
paid
procuring. Okay.
for them.
Oh, wow.
For all their different 13 locations. Yeah.
So the boba will be compliments of the idea committee and the mooncake compliments of the city and library.
Oh, yeah, San Mateo County Libraries.
Okay, okay.
Yep, so the graphic that is advertising this event has the logo of all three at the
Okay.
bottom.
Okay, great.
Okay, and then the last item
So
was,
just one question,
Mhm.
does a member of the idea committee need to be there? Would you, or you just would like someone to be present, recommended? You need one to be there.
I think it's always nice for an idea committee member to have a presence there and available. But it is, I thought it was gonna be like next week on the actual day of, but they wanted to distribute the mooncakes this Friday. I
Yeah.
understand it's kind of short notice, so. But let me know.
Can anyone make it?
I cannot.
You cannot. Diane?
Yeah, I'm in San Francisco.
Yeah. How about you, Miyoko? Will you be able to make it to the event on Friday at 3 p.m.? 3:30 p.m.?
I'll be working at that
Okay.
time. Yeah.
Maybe I can ping Anna. I don't know, if she'll be back.
Oh, yeah.
I'll let Anna know too.
If all else fails, I'll try to be there by 4:30 or so. How long is the event for?
It's only for that hour.
3:30 to 4:30.
Mhm.
Great.
Okay. And then do you want to talk about the United Against Hate mural, mural project or?
Well, I think the last discussion was people wanted to do the movie, the documentary.
Yeah.
And charge community members a $5 donation. I don't know if there was, I wasn't here at the last meeting, but if there was any action items around that.
So this is the same documentary that was presented at that first meeting, right?
Mhm. So that people have more of context of the
Right.
Against Hate Week.
Yeah.
Mhm.
However, I must point out that some members of the community might find some of the content objectionable because, it's pretty hard hitting. So what do you think, Ellen? You're the other one who's seen it.
I mean, it was at the Sikh temple, right? That I've seen a few.
Yeah, that, and I mean, some of that footage there, I mean,
Yeah.
it was a very strong film,
Mhm.
made the point very, persuasively. But at the same time, we should also, at least some of that content was, I think it may not be for, some people may be sensitive to that. watching.
Mhm.
So,
Maybe there needs to be like a.
I mean, why don't you see it in grid and then, feel free to make a call.
It's on their website or where is?
How can we access it?
It's
I think it's on the
United
website.
Against Hate, website,
Mhm.
yeah. Talk about it.
Okay,
It's only like the 5-minute one, right?
Right, the short one that they
Yeah.
should, just as a preamble to that meeting, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Miyoko, you saw it too, right? Miyoko, yeah, Miyoko was there as well.
so the documentary is only 5 minutes?
I think something like that, right?
Hmm.
Is it?
Charging might be a little weird for that.
Yeah.
No, we document is somewhat longer. I don't.
Was
I
there
don't
another
remember the
one?
exact length of it.
Oh, okay. So yeah, they did have a full, like, I think it was almost half an hour. It wasn't very long though. The one
30
that they-
minutes?
Yeah.
I kind of tuned in and out of that a little bit, but yeah.
You mean like this is like a little snippet of that documentary? Or is it two completely different works?
I think they had like a little trailer, but they also have available the full like 30-minute
Yeah,
like film that was put together by, she's the co-chair of United Against Hate Week, and she's like a film producer.
Hmm.
So, not in our town, in her organization. And not in our town, where the movies are housed. There's also like links to them on YouTube.
so just to reset here, are we proposing screening that and then, you know, suggesting donations of whatever amount to watch that film or make donations after watching the film? And then if so, where do we screen it, right? Well, that's a good way to commemorate United Against Hate Week, I think.
Up to the committee.
Yeah. The library could be the spot, or, you know, City Hall.
Unless there are other ideas, you know,
Yeah, what do you do in the old library?
Um,
Because it's more of like an event
Upstairs.
space, yeah?
Mhm.
We could do it there if you wanted to do screening, but also you could do another type of like kind of United Against Hate thing
Yeah.
that might be less
less
controversial.
controversial.
If it's something like, and then make it like family friendly.
Yeah.
But then that would take someone's research to figure out what that would be and us
Yeah.
agreeing on it. But I think paying for like a feature film is probably like the easiest thing. It's like, oh, you paid for the screening of this thing.
Right.
And then you can even offer like discussion after. And then we can be like, oh, we're doing this mural to commemorate this year, last year. And more of like a community engagement instead of kind of being like, without unity, this could be us.
Yeah,
Which is kind of intense. Yeah. But I don't know what that film would be. It could be like a shorts too. We could do like shorts against hate, and then that way we can offer like more voices on the same topic too, instead of just picking one person's voice for
Yeah.
it.
so just screen a shorter film is what you're saying, and that's something that's.
Or shorts, like multiple shorts. So you'd have multiple perspectives.
Okay,
And then it could be like, oh, that could even like lead into discussion, like, oh, since we were able to see multiple perspectives on different levels, how this really affects all of us. Instead of having to pick like one film that's gonna cover everything
Yeah.
for us.
so we keep screening the shorts in succession, we keep cycling.
Yeah.
You know, so, and do a loop,
Yeah,
have like
like,
5 shorts and then we.
yeah, or maybe even
5
three,
and 3
depending.
minutes.
Yeah,
Okay,
and then be like, okay, you can even have like some guiding questions like that short featured X.
Yeah.
This short will feature Y. The last one will feature X. And then be like, we've seen X, Y, and Z now.
Yeah.
What do we think as a community?
that's a great idea, the only thing is how
Book
we,
club.
you know,
Yeah,
curate those shorts.
curate. Yeah, I think it would be important to, I mean, we could also do that. When is the United Against Hate?
November 11th to 18th.
So maybe our action item is we all bring like 2 shorts or 1 short, and then we can put it in like an email. We all view all of them. And then we can all like take a vote of like, oh, I think this one is good. This one doesn't feel great.
Because most of them are available on YouTube already.
Yeah, shorts are like
Yeah.
really easy. And then also I feel like that's more there could be more voices and it could be more
Mhm.
equitable in a way where it could be like a shorter film could.
And it's so accessible, like we could even reach out to the filmmakers and they can
Yeah,
appear via Zoom nowadays, you know, it's just.
yeah, it'd be cool to do some, I like the idea of like a moderated discussion too, just not that I think it will get like super spicy, but.
Yeah, no,
Like-
and then set the stage of like, this is the space of safety and these are our ground rules to have an engaging conversation. We trust that that is your hope too, since you're at this event.
We're not here to spread hate.
Yeah, so I think that could be maybe a better alternative.
Yes, definitely, agree. Would you like to MC or compare the discussion?
Sure.
Okay.
I can.
Yeah.
My work schedule's really changed a lot. I'm like really busy now. So I just would need to know like really soon in advance. But Saturday nights would be okay. Like a Saturday afternoon is fine.
Okay.
It's just really the weekdays are rough.
Saturday afternoon will be good, I think, for people that work.
Yeah, and then it'll be because love all the events the library's doing, but 3:30 to 4:30 is rough
Yeah.
for the average working
Yeah,
individual.
and this is like an event that we're not trying to be like, oh, do you have like kids at home?
Yeah.
I mean, yes, children should come to you, but.
So can we do it on the Saturday at like between
What Saturday is it?
2 to 3 p.m. or something?
Yeah.
1 hour, you know, or 1.5 or 90 minutes. Have
Yeah, I think
4 to
90
4
minutes,
shorts,
including
3 to 4 shorts, each
including
5 minutes,
discussion.
and then then we have a discussion
I
for
have
25 to 30
already
minutes or
going on
so.
the 17th.
Yeah.
So
And then we
the
can do
11th.
of November. Oh wait, I think I'm out of town. Because that is a holiday, right?
Veterans Day.
Veterans Day. I think I'm out of town on the 11th.
When's Veterans Day? The 13th?
The 10th.
Oh, the
No,
10th.
Veterans Day?
Yeah, the 10th is Veterans Day, the
11th.
11th. Let me just double check.
I think it's on the 11th, but it's observed on the 10th.
Oh, yeah, this year, it's the holiday.
And then the United Against Hate starts on the 11th to the 18th.
Yeah.
Okay. I won't be there on the 18th.
Or we can do it, will Friday work for you, Ashley? Friday late, Friday afternoon?
I'm not done until 6.
You don't
It
have
goes
to do
until
this.
the 18th, which is
Yeah.
following the
I'm gonna
Saturday.
just check my schedule.
I'll be gone by then, but you know, I don't
Oh.
have to be there.
18th is an alternative, but Ingrid won't be here.
Okay.
18th is when it ends, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, okay. 18th is Saturday, so. The other advantage of 18th is it's after our November meeting, so at the November meeting, we can finalize these shorts, you know, on the 15th.
It's a good call.
Hopefully we're ready.
We just have to curate like 4 or 5 shorts, right? I think that's good rather than seeing even a, longer film. It's like the attention span is, that you're requiring. of
That
the-
part.
Is shorter.
Yeah. And then
So we'll go with the 18th then?
Do you think the equipment is better in Mission Blue, or how do they do those?
Like Linifest?
oh, Mission Blue is nicer.
Mm-hmm. I think like a bed. That's a too big of a venue. Too big of a venue, or
That might be bigger,
Mhm.
but aesthetically, it's nicer.
yeah. They can. We could only use half of the building if you want. I just don't know. Like the audiovisual part of it. So we could ask.
Yeah.
I
it's
should
even
be back
available
on the
that day.
11th. If it's that Saturday of the 11th, that should be okay.
What will people be here if it's a holiday?
It is a 3-day weekend
It's a 3-day weekend. so that's-
Yeah, so it'll be hard.
because they'll have Friday off.
Yeah.
Some people have.
Do
Veterans
we,
Day.
does City Hall have it up?
Okay, if
so.
City Hall's closed, then we probably should have.
Yeah, I think it's federal.
So let
We
me
could do right before the actual week starts. We-
The
or-
fourth?
No, the 12th, I mean. It's
Yeah,
like
we
right
can
at the
do it
start
the
of the week.
4th,
Oh,
right after Halloween.
November. Do you guys feel like that's too early?
I think we have to do it within that week, right? United Against Hate Week. Or to prep it, I don't know. I guess we could do like a pre
A kickoff.
kickoff. Or the 18th.
mhm.
The 18th is fine too. I'm free both Saturdays, but I actually don't think a lot of people leave for Veterans Day because they don't really. I normally plan 3-day weekends away, but that's also because I was a teacher. I don't think the average person is like, oh, 3-day weekend Veterans Day.
It's not my holidays,
Yeah.
Yeah.
my work.
Okay.
Oh, it's not?
No.
Okay. So maybe it's not. I think maybe we should just do the 11th then,
11th.
if everyone's comfortable with that.
It's
Yeah,
fine
'cause
as long as.
otherwise you're
not
getting off
within that
like the week
week.
before Thanksgiving on the 18th.
Right,
Okay.
okay, 11th it is then.
Gosh, this is going by so quick.
And then the year's over, so.
The flag raising will probably, I don't know, we usually do a flag raising in the
yeah.
park.
Is it on
Don't know, it might be on that morning,
Friday?
the Saturday.
Saturday morning?
Yeah, but that's okay. This should be 2 events, yeah. Okay, sounds good. I think that was the last one.
Mhm.
Okay.
All right, any other announcements from staff?
Just a quick reminder about folks' public meetings and your ability to attend the meetings remotely. Remember that there's 2 ways, which is the just cause provision and then the emergency provision. So the just cause is that, you have to take care of a child, a parent, grandparent, sibling, spouse, or domestic partner. You have an illness or a physical or mental disability. Or you're traveling on business for your local agency. And then so you just have to email me and let me know that you need to do the just cause provision. And also there's the emergency provision. The just cause provision, you could only use twice a year per legislative group. So for this group and for your subcommittee work. And then for the emergency, it's just it's a physical or family and medical emergency that prevents a member from attending a meeting in person. And it really has to be an emergency. And in that situation, you need to make a request and then the group has to approve it, in the agenda. And that's unlimited, but it has to be a real emergency.
It's one where you need to like put a little sign outside your door that you're like.
Oh, that one is called that one is called just like teleconferencing. That's the old school way. And you let me know ahead of time and then we'll post it on the agenda where you'll be.
And yes, you have to post it on your door wherever you're at.
Yeah. That's it for us.
Okay, Miyoko, can you give us your age-friendly cities report, please?
Okay,
Oh, do I have to make you a host to share if you need to share?
so we got a test link and the draft to the survey. And they really want our input to see if there's anything that needs to be edited. But before we get into that, I just wanted to say that there was talk about, oh, should it be 16 above, 50 and above? So they decided to do 45 years old and above because in the past, they've had a lot of challenges getting the surveys back. Nicole from Parks and Rec, she said that they had like a survey recently, and only 187 surveys came back. So the goal is 500, and they're thinking maybe we'll get 200, but I'm hopeful that we can somehow do a lot of outreach to get a lot of surveys back. So what AARP, they're gonna send the survey out on their end, as well as Brisbane. So they have a list of residents 50 and above, and so I'll just say, okay, so 21 out of 4,851 residents in Brisbane, there's 21% that's 60 and over. And then 50 and above, it's 39%. And they don't have the percentage for 45. So they're going to be sent out the hard copy, which you have, and the test link. But the only thing with the test link, I'll try and share my screen, is that I'm not sure how it's going to be sent. And, sometimes if you're using like a computer, iPad, whatever kind of phone, it may or may not, work depending, if it's set for that. Okay. Can you see this?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is supposed to coincide with the paper survey. So the test link, you have to, answer it to go forward. So we could do a couple. So yes, next. One question I thought is, can you go back, if you're using online and change your answer, so that could be one. And these are the how they specify different areas in Brisbane. So if you think that there's it should be called something different or anything, we can suggest that. So let's see.
Miyoko, if you click that other one, is there a place to like put it in?
Let's see.
Okay.
Oh yeah, there is. Okay, that's good.
So Miyoko, in addition to the back button that you just talked about, you will go back. Here it is there on this particular page. Do you think we should add a skip button as well? In case somebody wants to skip a question, because in a paper survey, some people may skip through these questions. So to be fair, on an online version as well, you should have that facility.
I believe that for the survey to be valid, everyone has to answer every single question.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. And so, Caroline, the last meeting, you were mentioning that you have a program that you could translate it to different languages.
Well, that's if it's housed on our city website.
Oh, I see. Because that's probably something that that we should suggest is having it translate languages.
Yeah, I will say that the Park and Rec had the ability for the survey to be translated in their needs assessment survey. And I don't believe anyone asked for a translated version of the survey. Not to say that it wasn't needed by anyone, but we should think about how we're going to reach people to take the survey. Has that been discussed with the task force?
No, I think that's something we should talk about. Some ideas would be, using the library as a place to maybe host, I don't know, maybe in the afternoons or evenings, time where if anyone needs assistance filling out the survey. Another idea is, having youth and older adults. I don't know if that would work in this circumstance. And maybe having some kind of prize or something if people complete it. But yeah, but the whole key is the whole thing has to be completed. And so one thing, so these are the different sections. There's the general, questions, and then there's homes, public buildings, spaces, transportation, health and wellness, social participation, inclusion, and educational opportunities, volunteering and civic engagement, job opportunities, community information. And then the last section is supposed to be kept confidential. So for example, like under the last part, the confidential part, I'm just wondering, for example, D2, which term best describes how you currently identify? Like, for example, maybe including transgender, in that, like that kind of thing. And then, D4, I know nowadays people say never married, but I don't know, maybe including single.
For the transgender, I don't think it needs to be added to D2 because it's gender and not a sexuality, really. D2 looks like it's talking about sexuality. And I do think never married is kind of intense to say, so single should suffice.
You said none of the above.
I think singles, it's okay to say single. That's how we fill out tax papers. Basically, right? Never married.
Always a bridesmaid, never a bride.
Check this box. But I will say for D1, transgender could be added as an actual name thing
Yeah.
instead of another gender identity.
I wonder if. I'm not familiar enough with like how a transgender person identifies, or if they just say like. They're male or female.
Yeah.
Right? But it's like transgender male to female. I don't, so maybe this is enough. Because
Yeah.
it's really just asking like, how do you identify? They're not like, and did you ever identify something else?
Yeah, maybe.
And I
I
think maybe
think
another gender
the-
identity.
Okay.
I don't know. Again, that's not fair. I would wonder though, if there's, I would imagine that AARP is getting like this kind of demographic questions from some sort of like uniform or like standardized set of questions, right? That they didn't come up with them themselves.
Yeah, that could be, it's perhaps the market research company has this and then done for all surveys. Just to survey the kind of demographics makeup of the respondents.
I wonder for question, just going back to the first page, Q1A, the name of your community. If we should say like Central Brisbane instead of main downtown Brisbane. That's kind of how we refer to it, like, or go back to Betsy. We have a map design of Central Brisbane. But yeah, the Northeast Ridge, I guess the ridge is,
Is the ridge like all the way around?
it's
like
the
Sam-
three homeowners associations.
That's what I thought. So what's like that way on the hill?
That way.
Like King Street?
Oh, you,
King.
it's still
that-
Central
is that
Brisbane.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
still-
Even
it's like
King,
the
yeah.
bowl.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like
and the bowl.
Central Brisbane,
Yeah.
and then,
You know, the
Okay,
0 Point
got
Road
it.
and Humboldt.
that
That would be Central Brisbane.
right.
Got it.
It's not
Okay.
called out here, but should we include that?
Yeah, maybe that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Because like when I read downtown, I'm thinking like here.
Yeah, downtown
Yeah.
Station, San Bruno, and probably, you know, Mariposa and all those.
Right, I don't know if that's too like specific, kind of, but Central, I think encapsulates the bowl, for lack of a better word. Where's the
That makes sense.
And then the ridge, but also then if you want to say like, what is the name of your community? For 3, it's, the name is Sierra Point Mobile Home Park.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's kind of intense to not have the name
Zero
of
point.
it.
Yeah, Sierra Point Mobile Home Park. And then there's also liveaboards allowed at the marina, so that might be another community
Mhm.
to add.
Could you
So
repeat that?
Brisbane- Like Brisbane Marina, because there's allowance
Brisbane
for
Marina.
liveaboards, yeah, on the boats. So Brisbane Marina,
Okay, this is great.
So we change main downtown Brisbane to Central Brisbane. Central Brisbane, the Ridge.
the
Zero
ridge,
Point Mobile Park.
Mhm.
Mobile Home Park,
Mhm.
and then Brisbane Marina,
yeah,
and then other.
yeah, I don't know, there's gonna be much other.
So, yeah, just, you know.
This is
to find
great.
out.
Oh, there is like those,
Huh?
remember there's that one person that lives full time in the hotels?
Yeah, good.
That'll be the
outlier.
Yeah.
Outlier.
It's really, Miyoko, on this survey, there's no mention that please complete the entire survey. When you're online, it probably won't let you, you won't be able to get to the next page unless you answer the question. So
That's a good
it's-
point. To put down, you have to
Right,
do the whole survey, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, in order for it to be valid.
Mhm.
Whatever the terminology,
Yeah,
statistically valid.
Yeah, especially if you're like going through all those others.
Mhm.
It's a shame to like not have the chance.
Great, okay.
Has ARP like ever been questioned about their intention to collect this information, like when they provide the surveys to other communities? I think since it's like a 17-page survey.
Is this why you have to know numbers?
I guess maybe they could, or for this one, they could put like a little summary in the beginning, why they're
Yeah.
asking for it. Yeah.
And then also just aesthetically, the numbers next to the squares are a little
Mhm.
confusing, especially
Yeah.
next to like the years.
Yeah.
It's not as bad when it's actually feeling like a major factor, not sure, but
Where is that?
it's on all of them. There's numbers next to every square that you check.
Oh, I think I'll mention that to them, but I think it's like
A scoring thing.
this is the draft. I think that's
recording, I think. When they scan it, they might use digital scanners and then there's the coding, I think, too. collate the results and do the analytics.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then also for questions 2 and 3, it might be helpful just to include more than for everything in the front, like more than 5 years, but less than 15.
Yeah, right.
I mean, you can figure it out, but if you're looking for feedback.
Could you repeat that one more time?
Yeah, so for like for question 2, how long have you lived in your community? Like when I read it, I understand that 5 years, but less than 15 years is saying more than 5, but less than 15 is in between 5 and 15. But that's not the way that it's actually written.
So just adding the words more than
Yeah, for like 5, 15, 25. and
Yeah, the
35.
last 5 options on question 2.
Yeah, or 5 years to 15 years, 15 years to
Yeah.
25 years.
Yeah,
This
Okay.
is-
or 5, it would be like 5 to 14.
Well, yeah.
It's more. more easily
Again, there's
understood.
survey design here.
We're good at this. We should add this to our work plan.
Yeah, right.
We should have survey. How many questions?
Wow.
Yeah, but in this
It is
point,
17.
it's a long survey, Miyoko, and, you know,
Yeah.
at the same time, you're expecting, especially from the paper version, for everyone to answer all of it, all questions, otherwise it invalidates the survey, right? And you, at the same time, you have the goal of about receiving 200 valid surveys, at least, right? That's what you mentioned.
Right.
So let's bring up the question, is there an incentive planned?
Yeah, it needs to be like a survey party, honestly,
Yeah, so there's.
where everyone can do it at the same time.
Survey
Because,
Cause it's
you know, some-
hefty. It feels like a test.
Yeah, it is. It's at
the
least 20
other-
minutes. It could be more.
The other cities, they said that was the challenge.
Mhm.
And I asked them like, because some people would get stuck on certain questions, but I asked like what questions, but they didn't have that answer. But yeah, it is very long and you can get lost in it. So I think, yeah, like the numbers, simplifying that so it's just easier to read in a sense.
Survey party, that sounds. Yeah, necessary.
I think so.
Mhm.
And then
like
when it does go out, there's gonna be like 3 to 4 months for the survey to come back.
And some of it can be simplified, I think. Like, for example, question 17, you have 6 choices and almost looks like about at least a dozen or more sub-questions. No.
Mhm. Page 6.
Some of the page 6, correct.
Mhm.
So do you need that many categories to begin with? And secondly, can those questions be condensed? Because they could start out in good faith, but towards the end, they will just basically check off something without fully
Mhm.
reading it. And
Not
Right.
sure. for everything.
Okay,
Yeah, like,
this is great.
yeah, community located
same goes,
emergencies will maintain hospitals and healthcare facilities.
right. Like well-maintained parks and safe parks could be one question.
Well, and
But we
also
don't
like,
have
yeah, we don't
those.
have emergency care centers or maintenance or hospitals or healthcare facilities here, right? In
Mhm.
Spain, so.
Then go to the edge that says, I mean, I guess it's still being close to one.
It's a very.
Affordable public parking, are there any meters in Brisbane? So
Oh,
M is not necessary.
yeah,
The ones that
are
don't-
we allowed to remove some of these on page 6, Miyako? That don't apply to Brisbane?
I'll ask. Yeah, I'll ask.
Mhm.
Cause yeah, L and M.
Okay, let me circle that.
Yeah, L, M,
Okay,
and then J, and then I can all maybe be deleted.
Well, unless they wanted to put 4, because they don't exist.
Oh, like add a column?
No, that's an.
No, there's a
Oh,
pour.
there's a pour.
There's even a not sure.
Yeah,
So we might get a lot of not sures for this page.
I mean, I wonder if there's like,
A good point, like, you know, like,
Keep it, this is cool.
not sure or decline to state, maybe if each
Not applicable.
section, yeah, each section has that, then instead of skipping, maybe a person can just, you know, click that, you know? And
well,
then,
and yeah, there's so many different dimensions that they're asking about. I wonder if you could like opt in to be like, I will answer community information, but like, I don't want to answer volunteering and civic engagement or something that would like make it more manageable.
I'm not sure if it's possible.
Yeah, it's really long.
Well, maybe there could be survey parties, like part one, I don't know, part one, let's get together and, you know, spin the wheel.
Yeah. You'll need it.
There has to be something.
Make it a bigger wheel.
How about bingo? Let's play bingo afterwards.
Question 17.
Every page you get through is another 5% off.
Yeah.
Five.
Yeah.
17% off, there's 17 pages.
Oh, 1% a page. That's not even a good incentive. I was gonna say you can do bingo after, but then you would end up with like 17 bingo cards or something crazy.
17 pages.
This is intense. It's definitely me.
Actually, bingo is so high tech now. It's pretty funny, like playing bingo.
Are there bingo nights here?
Not nights, but every Wednesday after the senior lunch, they play bingo at the community center.
There
Yeah.
used to be bingo nights, but back in the day.
And on Fridays too, they play bingo at 12.
But it's
Sunrise
mostly for
room.
the seniors.
Yeah.
Okay, but so not, maybe that's a gap that we can fill. Bingo night.
Work plan.
Right.
All inclusive.
We do have like a
Bingo night.
meeting already.
Some more work to do here, Miyako. And one other point on the demographics, you know, many of the respondents may choose not to answer any of the questions. Even though it does state there that it'll be kept strictly confidential. I think that section should be made optional.
Or just have a prefer not to say for each one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good to get any demographic information because then you get the trends for the various demographic groups, right, that you're trying to identify here. But at the same time, you know, requiring every respondent to answer all of those questions in demographics, and there are
Yeah. And
17 here as well.
if
is-
there's just one that you feel uncomfortable answering, then your entire survey.
Exactly,
is
right.
thrown out.
I know.
After.
So you need it in the very end.
Like the 17th page.
Unfortunately I have to go.
Yeah.
There's a lot of inputs here, so I think this is, yeah.
Good
great.
start.
Good start.
All right,
Thank you, Miyako.
thanks, Miyoko. That is it, so, I will go ahead and adjourn the meeting at 7:26.
I was like, I really don't wanna go.
It's
I know.
getting juicy.
I know.
Like we have homework, right, to find some shorts?
2 shorts per person.
2 shorts.
Two shots, okay.
And then by next thing, we can give it to each other and then go through it, and then the next one. Or is the 11th?
Yeah, I think the 11th, we won't have the next
Yeah,
one.
we won't
Okay.
have a next.
So then that
Thank you.
means we'll have homework.
Yeah.
And we'll have
You have to
like
figure it
maybe November 1st.
Feels like work for the events subcommittee.
Hit me.
Thank you. Policy subcommittee member.
Black policy.
Yeah, we flag work.
We paid our dues.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
have you circulated that sign up sheet?
Yeah, bye Ashley.
Bye.
Yeah, but.
All right, Miyoko, we're signing off. Thank you.
Bye, Miyoko, good night.
Bye, Miyako.
Bye.
Good night.
I'm all waving this way, we're all sideways. Okay, bye.
And